I'm Ann Makovic, and this is The Minute. March Madness coming to Chase Center today. The first game starts at 4:40 between number 1 seed Florida and 4 seed Maryland. Then it is Arkansas facing off against Texas Tech at 7. The winners will play Saturday, again at Chase Center, for a chance to make it to the Final Four. VTA workers back on the job today after a judge sided with the transit agency, ending the strike on its third week. VTA claims workers broke a new no-strike clause. Bus service is expected to resume tomorrow, with light rail service following after rail inspections. And BART touting a new milestone for their fare gates. The transit agency says they have now been installed in half of its stations. They've been installed at Glen Park and San Leandro most recently. BART says plans to have those fare gates at all 50 stations by the end of the year. I'm Ann Makovic with The Minute.
You're streaming CBS News Bay Area.
March Madness bringing an economic boost to San Francisco. We caught up with local business owners who say the increase in foot traffic could not come soon enough.
Whenever there is an event, what we like is so many people come out to see the game, but they also see part of San Francisco.
Plus, a brand new apartment building planned in the North Bay, and it is getting some pushback because of its location. Why critics say problems come up when winter storms come down. And it is considered one of the most dangerous roads in the Bay Area. When we headed there ourselves, we saw why.
I went, didn't see the car coming. They smacked the left side of me.
So what are the plans to make this stretch in Oakland safer? Thanks for joining us today. Parts of the Bay Area are going to continue to see some light showers throughout the day. Here's meteorologist Jessica Birch with your first alert forecast.
Well, it was just a few days ago we were talking about record-breaking daytime highs in the Bay Area, but now that this cold front is swept in from offshore, we're dealing with cool, cloudy conditions today with light showers sweeping in from offshore and daytime highs really only topping off in the 60s throughout the Bay Area. This is what it looked like this morning. We're going to continue to see light showers sweep in from offshore throughout the afternoon hours today. Around 1 o'clock, for the most part, we're just seeing cloudy skies, but there are some light splashes of showers that will move throughout all of our communities. For example, around 7 o'clock tonight, along the peninsula. We'll get more of that into the overnight hours tonight too. Now in total, we're going to get close to around 1/10 of an inch of rain as we head into our afternoon hours today near Santa Rosa. Less impressive numbers over into Napa, but we keep a close eye on the next 7 days for a couple reasons. We're not done with the rain just yet. We actually have more showers in the forecast for us Friday. Luckily, we dry up as we head into our Saturday forecast, and then it's game on with cooler temperatures around the corner for us as more rain rolls in from offshore from Sunday to Wednesday of next week. On and off showers are expected for quite some time, and this is really good news for us actually because our rainfall versus average is showing pretty low percentage right now off into the East Bay and the Santa Clara Valley. We're at around 60 to 80% in those two areas alone, so all of this is really going to help those rainfall totals add up. And we're seeing the exact same trend in our inland areas too. Notice how we also dip down into the 50s as early as next Tuesday. So cool, chilly temperatures around the corner. And to add to that, we're also seeing plenty of rain in store for us heading into the next 7 days. We'll keep you updated on those rainfall totals. For now, I'm going to send it back over to you.
The Bay Area is at the center of March Madness today as Chase Center hosts a pair of Sweet 16 games. First up, top-seeded Florida and the Crab 5 of Maryland. Then it's Arkansas facing off against Texas Tech. The winners are going to play Saturday again at Chase Center for a chance to punch their ticket to the Final Four. College basketball fans have been pouring into the Bay Area to take part in the excitement. Our Veronica Macias caught up with a newlywed couple making the trip to the city to cheer on their team.
Businesses not only at Thrive City but around Chase Center gearing up for the crowds. It's their game day as well. I talked to businesses who say they are fully staffed, fully stocked, and ready to greet new faces.
Another big sporting event is being held in the city of San Francisco, this time drawing a younger crowd. Newlyweds Kylie and Scott say they planned their trip for an entire year without knowing they'd be lucky enough to cheer on their home team.
The Maryland Terrapins are here, so go Terps.
Like for many Sweet 16 ticket holders, the Chase Center was part of the appeal.
I'm a little bummed there's no West Coast teams, but I think it's going to turn out really well. And our hotel's already packed with the giant spring training and this going on. It seems like the area is going to get a lot of attention this week.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you.
How are you?
Oh, good. getting ready for March Madness.
Kylie and Scott are one of the thousands of people visiting and helping the local economy. Businesses at Thrive City and around Chase Center are looking forward to the increase in foot traffic.
Whenever there is an event, what we like is so many people come out to see the game, but they also see part of San Francisco that is new. Mission Bay didn't really exist 5-6 years ago, and now with UCSF and Uber and Chase Center, so people come in to see the game, they also see some of San Francisco, something that's unique.
Peasant Pie says despite the arena adding more food options, it's pricey and people will venture out a few streets and explore. The recent All-Star game showing they can expect to see a 30 to 40% increase in customers.
You eat this by hand like the way you eat a hamburger.
The mom and pop shop has been in business for 3 decades and are offering food that you can eat on the go before and after the games. This East Coast couple could use some comfort food after spending lots on a 7-day trip on the West Coast.
Well, I don't want to say because she's standing next to me and I don't want to get in trouble, but the sea lions almost made it all worth it. We went to Pier 39 yesterday, saw so many sea lions, got summer weather in March and went out to Sausalito. It's amazing. I think it's such a cool city. When you think of all the cities that are hosting this year, San Francisco is the coolest.
Tip-off is not until 4:30, but businesses preparing for those long lines throughout the day.
For more information on the NCAA tournament at Chase Center, head to our website, kpix.com. Major League Baseball is also back. It's opening day with 14 games on the docket. The Giants starting the season on the road against the Reds. They are looking to improve their 80-82 overall record, but they are in a tough division with both the Dodgers and the Padres to compete against. There weren't too many moves in free agency, but the team did add star pitcher Justin Verlander. Oracle Park is ready to welcome the Giants for their home opener coming up next week. Our chopper flew over the park already decked out for the occasion. The home opener is going to be next Friday against the Seattle Mariners. The Trump administration plans to shrink the workforce of the Department of Health and Human Services by nearly a quarter. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy says he's going to cut 10,000 jobs from federal health agencies. That includes 3,500 positions from the Food and Drug Administration and 2,400 from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. An official says that no FDA inspectors nor CDC infectious disease personnel are going to get cut. Your next car purchase or car repair could get more expensive. President Trump promising a 25% tariff on foreign-made cars starting 1 week from today. About half of the cars sold in the U.S. are imported, and economists are warning that prices could jump by thousands of dollars. President Trump says it is meant to spur growth in manufacturing within the U.S. and raise $100 billion in revenue each year. City workers in Oakland putting out notices to homeless encampments along Peralta Park near Lake Merritt, saying their tents are soon going to be cleared out. City leaders say they plan to spend the next month clearing the area and putting up fencing. They plan to replant trees and plants at the park starting on Tuesday. So the park is expected to be closed until the fall. The city says they will offer shelter to people impacted. A new low-income apartment complex in Marin County is facing some pushback because of where it is planned to go. It started out as a 74-unit project along Drake Avenue in Marin City, but then the plans changed with the development split into 2 locations. A scaled-down version that will remain at the original location in Marin City, with a second building with 32 units on Shoreline Highway in unincorporated Mill Valley. Well, the problem is that that site sits on a FEMA-designated flood zone. As Suji Nam shows us, that is raising some serious concerns.
Supposed to put low-income housing in areas that are better than they have been. This one is substantially worse.
Amy Kalish, the chair of the Tamalpayas Design Review Board in Marin County, is touring the property at 150 Shoreline Avenue. the potential site for low-income housing. She says the plans violate local building regulations.
25 feet is the actual height limit, but part of this building will go to 70 feet.
Amy and her team are the advisory board to developers in the county. When she got the first application, she said she knew this site wasn't the right fit for the project.
Second time we got the plans that we reviewed, nothing had changed. The windows are still coming down to the ground.
The low windows, a concern as the property sits in a flood zone, according to FEMA.
Water. All of it.
Amy took these a few months ago, showing the aftermath of heavy rain. King tides also impact the area. She adds the proposed site is just a walk away from this marshy area, posing safety risks for future residents on this plot of land. The Marin County Community Development Agency supports the plan. Sarah Jones, the director of the agency, says affordability has to be a priority. She adds the site has already been zoned for housing, making the option to split the sites appealing.
Get to an outcome that would result in adding the same amount of affordable housing in the southern part of Marin County, but distribute some of it into higher resource areas.
Many Mill Valley residents have been outspoken against the project. They cite many of the same concerns as Amy, as well as the potential impact of decreasing property values. San Jose State University professor Kelly Snyder says the property value concerns are unfounded.
Zero evidence that constructing high-density housing, medium-density housing, even low-income and subsidized housing has a negative effect on property values.
The developer will soon bring their plans to the County Planning Commission. Amy says this plan feels like all or nothing.
It is an ultimatum, and it's a terrible ultimatum because this is a very bad site for housing.
Amy adds that the county will most likely approve this new proposal, but she hopes the developer will have an improved architectural plan in place to keep residents safe.
We have reached out to the developer, but have not heard back. If their proposal is approved by the County Planning Commission, then it's going to go to the Board of Supervisors for a final decision. Still ahead here on CBS News Bay Area, from illegal U-turns to a 3-car crash.
Look at this guy right here. What's he doing? Look what he's doing. He's backing up.
We saw it all when we went to this East Bay street that is considered among the most dangerous in the Bay Area. So what's being done to make it safer? Plus, San Francisco's largest mall up for auction. We're walking the halls with a longtime local who says he's confident that downtown is primed to bounce back.
People want to be here. Like, if they come here, they say it's a beautiful city and stuff, and so it's going to bounce back.
And a 150-year-old lighthouse in the middle of a massive makeover. We'll take you inside the renovations along the peninsula and meet the crew making it happen.
Well, we had record-breaking numbers just a few days ago for our daytime highs, but today we're back into the 60s with on and off showers in the forecast throughout the afternoon and evening hours tonight, not only along the bay, but in our inland areas too. Friday, it looks very similar. Saturday, we catch a break with drier skies, but look at Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. Right around the corner, including our inland areas, we have more rain in the forecast day by day, with these temperatures still holding on tight to low 60s as we head into next week's forecast. We'll keep you updated on those rainfall totals here in the Weather Center.
San Francisco's largest downtown shopping mall is in for some major upheaval. San Francisco Center, formerly known as Westfield Mall, is up for auction by its lender. The mall has been in receivership since 2023, when the previous owner stopped paying the lease and gave up the property. The auction comes at a time when the downtown mall looks like a shell of its former self. The Bloomingdale store is shutting its doors any day now, and we check that out for ourselves. The decorations, even the mannequins, all up for sale as they clean house. That comes a year and a half after the mall's 5-story Nordstrom closed following a 35-year run. That entire area is facing an uncertain future. Our Kenny Choi takes a closer look at the downtown corridor.
San Francisco's largest mall is set to be auctioned off by its lender. With another closure at San Francisco Center, nearby businesses are wondering what's next.
Longtime San Francisco resident John Garrich wanted to walk through the mall he used to frequent.
I was actually feeling a little bit of nostalgia from a lot of good memories of having been here with friends. There used to be a movie theater upstairs.
It's been almost a year since he last visited San Francisco Center, where Bloomingdale's, an anchor tenant, is closing after 2 decades.
They're down to like final clearance. They're selling the fixtures inside of there. There's a 20-foot draft in there, and I sent a text to my husband, who's really tall, saying, hey, maybe we should get this for the backyard.
Nearly entire blocks, including parts of Powell Street, remain lined with empty storefronts and lease signs 5 years after the pandemic lockdown.
It's kind of a little bit of what it was like in the early 2000s. The dot-com bubble had just popped. Businesses were struggling. People moved away from the city.
Hotel Aubrey is a stone's throw away from the world-famous Powell Street turntable. General Manager Echo Heffernan says the average daily room rate continues to decline as other nearby major retailers disappear.
It's a shame. Macy's has now said they're going to vacate within the next couple of years. And just a lot of the retail spaces is concerning, and that's for local traffic.
There may be cause for optimism. The San Francisco Travel Association recently projected modest growth in visitation in 2025, saying, quote, a strong meetings and convention calendar is essential for a strong tourism economy. The growth we're forecasting this year is a direct result of more event planners choosing San Francisco. But Heffernan says downtown hotels aren't seeing those projections coming to fruition.
Average rates we've been, forced to drop our average rate just to stay competitive.
College hoops fans can be spotted here and there. Brandon Rowland and his daughters are visiting San Francisco for the first time.
Looks like some of the businesses are starting to come back and be open, and there's still room for others to be here too. So I think just from the look of it, to me, it looks like a city rebuilding.
Despite walking through what looks like an empty mall, Garrich believes rebuilding downtown isn't a matter of if, but when.
People want to be here. Like if they come here, they say it's a beautiful city and stuff. And so it's going to bounce back. It will come back. It's just going to take a little bit of time.
The mall's valuation has dropped by nearly $1 billion, according to a recent appraisal by Morningstar Credit Analytics.
So what's next? We don't know yet. The CEO of the San Francisco Chamber of Commerce recently floated the idea of turning the mall into a soccer stadium. That idea was first brought up by former Mayor London Breed about 2 years ago. We'll continue to follow that one. New metering technology is coming to parts of 101 to try to ease congestion during commute hours. Caltrans says the new technology gets real-time traffic information and adjusts metering lights accordingly. Installation slated to start next month in parts of Sunnyvale and Redwood City. Palo Alto, Mountain View, and Brisbane are going to get the new tech sometime around the summer. The entire project is expected to be finished by October. The system will be operational every day from 5 in the morning till 8 p.m. Well, if you have ever taken a drive down Oakland's International Boulevard, you know a lot of people speed. Dangerous driving has been an issue there for a long time now, and now we have new numbers to back that up. Here is a look at the number of deaths on the Bay Area's most dangerous roadways. And as according to a Bay Area News Group analysis of federal data, our Katie Nielsen reports from International Boulevard in Oakland, where more than 50 people died in traffic-related incidents over the span of 2 decades.
Business owners in this area say bad crashes are almost a daily occurrence on International Boulevard. And in fact, as we were doing an interview for this story, we saw a 3-car crash happen just half a block down. An ambulance screams down International Boulevard after a car ran a red light, broadsiding Keith Warren's sedan. Thankfully, no one was seriously hurt.
My light was green. I went, didn't see the car coming. They smacked the left side of me. I hit another truck, airbag deployed, bumper gone, headlight gone.
Keith banged up his leg, but considers himself lucky because he's seen some really bad crashes on International due to reckless driving.
I grew up out here, so since I was a kid, so I already know how it get. But that's no room for stupidity and people who don't know how to drive to be driving.
According to the data analyzed by Bay Area News Group, International Boulevard averages about 3 traffic fatalities a year and peaked at 7 in 2017. Numbers that don't surprise Salvador Murguia, who owns an auto repair shop right along the boulevard.
I see it every day. People drive so fast. It's just scary sometimes.
He says it's not uncommon to see cars going 70 miles per hour or more down International, where the speed limit is 25 miles an hour.
I mean, I've seen them drive crazy fast and expect to, to hear the ambulance later on because somebody's gonna get, either killed or get hurt really bad.
Oakland City Council member Noel Gallo says he thinks people drive recklessly on International because they feel like they can get away with it. And in fact, we saw a car make an illegal U-turn during the middle of our interview.
This Fruitvale's getting, look at this guy right here. What's he doing? Look what he's doing, he's backing up. Now why does he have a chance to do that? What the hell, making a U-turn and all that?
Gallo wants to add more motorcycle officers to the department to specifically work on traffic enforcement, but says with the budget issues, that might not be possible. So he says one solution would be installing red light and speed cameras, which would provide that enforcement without significant added costs to the department.
It used to be that I had motorcycle officers on some of the major streets. I knew they were there, but they would pull you over, incite you.
We reached out to Oakland Police to try to get more information from them about what they were planning to do to help with safety issues along International Boulevard, but no one responded to our request.
The Bay Area News Group also found high danger on El Camino Real on the peninsula and Monterey Road between Gilroy and San Jose. Still ahead, we're getting to the bottom and the top of the complete transformation happening at an historic Bay Area lighthouse.
From the ground to the top is 149 steps.
Time-consuming. Found a lot more corrosion than what we had anticipated. So it's a lot of hand drilling and hand tapping. Tedious work.
Along the San Mateo County coastline lies the tallest lighthouse in the state, Pigeon Point, and it is in need of a major makeover. The lighthouse is located off of Highway 1, just south of Pescadero. It was first lit back in 1872. As you can imagine, over time, the structure of the historic lighthouse started to rust and crumble. Access to the lighthouse was closed off about 2 decades ago, but over the past year, it's been in the process of getting a proper facelift. Brian Hackney shows us where renovations are at now.
November 11th, 2011, the night the original light went out at Pigeon Point after 140 years. Battered by surf, strafed by fog, the lighthouse still looked great from a distance, but up close.
Pretty much everything that you see here on the exterior that's black is cast iron, and it's all corroded.
Julie Barrow is Special Projects Coordinator at the state park.
You know, the work is going really well.
Hey, we're the photographer, and Julie, we're gonna come right up there.
James Pelletier oversees the $16 million rebuild, which had Pigeon Point all meshed up. Scaffolding and mesh for more than a year, but it's back.
It's a striking sight again. The full body scaffolding came down at the end of January. We were really excited about that.
But the job's not over yet, with workmen hard at it up here. 10 stories above the crashing surf below.
Hey, we're gonna start heading in and start heading up, guys.
And it's a long, daily vertical commute.
From the ground to the top is 149 steps. 136 of them are the cast iron steps that make up the spirals.
It's a good 5-minute climb to the top. This is speeded up. And the views out the window on the way up. Wow, look at that.
Pretty sweet office.
The passageway becomes increasingly narrow with more steps ahead until we pop through the service room.
There's nothing to service in the service room, but I'm sure it has a purpose.
And finally, I see sunlight.
Yes.
We're up at the top in the lantern room, where the work here is
Time-consuming. Found a lot more corrosion than what we had anticipated. So it's a lot of hand drilling and hand tapping. Tedious work.
There's another year's worth of work to be done. And while the workers are doing it, what a view they're treated to at the top. The same view the original lamp in the lighthouse had.
Right here is where the 9-foot tall, 6-foot wide Fresnel lens sat.
The question, if the original lens will ever go back in the lighthouse.
We are working towards that goal. We'd like to have the first order lens restored to the lighthouse.
And if the jewel in the lighthouse crown ever does return, no doubt it would leave everyone beaming again. But first, we have to go back down.
Well, that project is expected to be finished by spring of next year. Coming up in our next half hour here on CBS News Bay Area, the VTA strike might be over, restoring a lifeline for passengers who depend on that service. But it's not good news for everyone.
That means we don't get a raise. With the high cost of living, everybody's struggling.
We're going to meet the workers promising to keep up the fight. Plus, a big victory for California families living near agricultural land. We're going to meet a woman on a mission to keep her son and other children from being exposed to toxic chemicals.
So if I would have had this amazing app now, or this system, I would have been able to prevent him from ending up in the hospital.
I'm Ann Makovic, and this is The Minute. March Madness coming to Chase Center today. The first game starts at 4:40 between number 1 seed Florida and 4 seed Maryland. Then it is Arkansas facing off against Texas Tech at 7. The winners will play Saturday at Chase Center for a chance to make it into the Final Four. VTA workers back on the job today after a judge sided with the transit agency, ending the strike on its 3rd week. VTA claims workers broke a no-strike clause. Bus service expected to resume tomorrow with light rail service following rail inspections. And a memorial being held for Fremont firefighter Anthony Gansler this morning. He died at home during a job-related medical emergency last week. He is being remembered for his warm personality, sense of humor, and his mustache. That service happening in El Dorado Hills. I'm Ann Makovic with The Minutes.
You're streaming CBS News Bay Area.
Well, it was just a few days ago we were talking about record-breaking daytime highs in the Bay Area, but now that this cold front has swept in from offshore, we're dealing with cool, cloudy conditions today with light showers sweeping in from offshore and daytime highs really only topping off in the 60s throughout the Bay Area. This is what it looked like this morning. We're going to continue to see light showers sweep in from offshore throughout the afternoon hours today. Around 1 o'clock, for the most part, we're just seeing cloudy skies, but there are some light splashes of showers that will move throughout all of our communities. For example, around 7 o'clock tonight along the peninsula, we'll get more of that into the overnight hours tonight too. Now in total, we're going to get close to around 1/10 of an inch of rain as we head into our afternoon hours today near Santa Rosa. Less impressive numbers over into Napa, but we keep a close eye on the next 7 days for a couple reasons. We're not done with the rain just yet. We actually have more showers in the forecast for us Friday. Luckily, we dry up as we head into our Saturday forecast, and then it's game on with cooler temperatures around the corner for us as more rain rolls in from offshore from Sunday to Wednesday of next week. On and off showers are expected for quite some time, and this is really good news for us actually because our rainfall versus average is showing pretty low percentage right now off into the East Bay and the Santa Clara Valley. We're at around 60 to 80% in those two areas alone, so all of this is really going to help those rainfall totals add up. And we're seeing the exact same trend in our inland areas too. Notice how we also dip down into the 50s as early as next Tuesday. So cool, chilly temperatures around the corner. And to add to that, we're also seeing plenty of rain in store for us heading into the next 7 days. We'll keep you updated on those rainfall totals. For now, I'm going to send it back over to you.
Thanks, Jess. A big development in the VTA strike in Santa Clara County. A judge siding with the transit agency, ordering drivers back to work today. Here's the judge's ruling.
Defendant ATU and its officers, agents, employees, representatives, and all persons acting in concert or participating with them are restrained and enjoined, directly or indirectly, from engaging in, committing, or performing directly or indirectly any and all of the following acts: sanctioning, assisting, or engaging in any strike, slowdown or stoppage of VTA work, operations, or service.
That strike started on March 10th. 1,500 workers walked off the job, bringing service to a halt, and that had a huge impact. The VTA normally provides 100,000 rides a day. As far as those contract talks, the latest offer from the VTA was an 11% raise over 3 years. The union rejected that. It had been asking for 18%. So without a new contract in place, the question now is, where does the union go from here? Our Andrea Nakano spoke with workers on where things stand.
Upset. Disappointed at the judge's decision.
Jose Salas is a light rail operator for VTA and has worked there for the last 19 years. After being on the picket line for weeks, the judge's decision was a big blow.
As it stands right now, we are working under the old contract. That means we don't get a raise. With the high cost of living, everybody's struggling. These last 3 weeks that we went out, a lot of people are suffering because they have to pay mortgages.
Once all the equipment has been checked, light rail service will be back on track.
We're appreciative of this ruling because it means that tens of thousands of people can get back on public transportation, which many people rely on and have been without for the last 2 weeks. It also means that our workers can get back to work. They've been without regular paychecks for the last 2 weeks.
VTA says its workers are the second highest paid in California and the 5th highest in the nation. The company says the offer of an 11% raise over the next 3 years is still on the table.
ATU was still demanding an 18% raise over 3 years. VTA cannot afford to do that. without cutting services drastically, laying people off, potentially raising fares, and that doesn't serve our customers well.
But workers say in the heart of Silicon Valley, the raise being offered barely pays the bills.
It's upsetting because we can reach that level of middle class. We're now on the lowers of middle class and struggling, right? We're not able to do what we used to do because of the cost of living.
Salas remains hopeful and says if the last week has taught him anything, it's that the workers are united in their demands for better pay and better working conditions.
You know, I just got to pick up my spirits again and just continue doing what I do best, you know, give it 100% like I always do.
Well, that strike has caused stress for the thousands of riders who depend on VTA. And we caught up with a few of them, like Jacob Smith and Melissa Aranda, after the judge made his decision. And they seemed kind of torn.
I could side with the drivers because I'm a working class citizen myself, but I can also, there's people that they rely on that service.
I don't know, maybe legal standpoint, they were probably like, this is fair, we're giving you more than enough, but I don't know, with this economy, no one can survive.
Partial bus service is expected to be restored tomorrow. There is a bit of a fight over housing as a horse racing track in the East Bay shuts down. Stable workers living in RVs in the Alameda County Fairgrounds in Pleasanton have been told to vacate by tomorrow night, and now they're asking for help with housing. The California Authority of Racing Fairs decided to end horse racing in the area after facing some financial difficulties last fall. Families living near agricultural land in the Bay Area can breathe a little bit easier with the state's first of its kind app notifying people about pesticide use. It's called Spray Days. That app provides a map showing where pesticides will be sprayed. This is a look at several warnings from yesterday between Hollister and Morgan Hill. A family in Monterey County knows all too well the negative impacts of some of those sprays, and they tell reporter Dania Romera that the app is a game changer.
In an area where agriculture surrounds parks, schools, and homes, people have been calling for transparency on when and where pesticides will be sprayed. Now, Spray Days will do just that.
So if I would have had this amazing app now, or this system, I would have been able to prevent him from ending up in the hospital.
It was in 2017 when Yaneli's son suffered an asthma attack at 10 years old. It was discovered later that toxic pesticides were sprayed near where they lived.
There wasn't a way of me knowing what he encountered up until I had to request a report with the ag commissioner, and that's how I was able to be notified that there was 10 pesticides applied that morning, and out of those 10, 7 induced asthma attacks, and my son was asthmatic.
With over 5 years in the making, Spray Days officially launched Monday, giving people who live near agriculture areas a heads up on when pesticides will be sprayed.
We do have the right to know, and now we do know. And so if I know that they're going to be applying pesticides near my son's school, then definitely I will change his schedule around and he wouldn't attend school that day.
The pesticides map focuses on restricted material pesticides. Some can cause cancer, brain, and lung damage. Former farm worker Juan Manuel, who worked alongside Cesar Chavez, says people should be aware when pesticides are being sprayed in vulnerable areas.
Aquí estamos cerquitas del Patria Park. Entonces, hay veces que sábados y domingos viene la familia aquí al parque. Entonces, no saben ellos que a lo mejor aquí, en este field, mira, ahí está el sign. No sabemos cuándo lo pusieron.
Like, I work here, and we're right next, I'm surrounded by fields, and I don't know when they are being sprayed. With the app, it will help us, be more aware of when these things are sprayed.
People will have up to a 48-hour advance notice on when pesticides will be sprayed. To find out where pesticides are sprayed near you, use the website spraydays.cdpr.ca.gov. California for Pesticides Reform Co-Director Angel Garcia says that California uses more pesticides than any other state. Yaneli urges people to utilize this resource so what happened to her family doesn't happen to anyone else.
So it's been a long process, and like any other organization that's working to improve the lives of community members, whether it's the social justice movement, environmental justice movement.
You can sign up for notifications. All you need is a California address, and you can choose the language that you want those notifications to come in. Coming up next, professional cricket coming to the Oakland Coliseum. We're going to introduce you to some young cricket players who are hoping this could open doors for Bay Area natives like them.
One day I do want to be out there playing.
We had record-breaking numbers just a few days ago for our daytime highs, but today we're back into the 60s with on and off showers in the forecast throughout the afternoon and evening hours tonight, not only along the bay, but in our inland areas too. Friday, it looks very similar. Saturday, we catch a break with drier skies, but look at Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. Right around the corner, including our inland areas, we have more rain in the forecast day by day, with these temperatures still holding on tight to low 60s as we head into next week's forecast. We'll keep you updated on those rainfall totals here in the Weather Center.
Well, the Oakland Coliseum is going to be host to history once again. It's going to be the site of the kickoff tournament for Major League Cricket. Some of the world's best cricket players are going to head to the town in June. It's going to be a week-long event where they'll play with some of the Bay Area's local talent. City leaders say the Bay Area is home to one of the largest fan bases of the sport in the world. Our Kara St. Cyr introduces us to some of those passionate fans counting down to cricket at the Coliseum.
The love for cricket is like a family heirloom, passed through generations of Prakashas.
I think cricket was something my family used to watch. They came from India, both my parents, so they watched a lot of cricket growing up. And then it kind of took off a lot more when I started playing.
Shrish Prakash started when he was just 8 years old. Now he's a seasoned offensive batter, playing for a minor league team, the Blazers.
I bowl with my right hand, and I'm a spinner.
On defense, his teammate Hari Nair was raised with the same passion for the game. They both play with the hope that they may one day join a major league team in the Bay.
It'd be so fun to play in front of people I grew up playing with.
That dream is now closer to reality.
I have to tell you how exciting it is that we're bringing cricket
to the Bay Area.
Major League Cricket teams will now play at the Oakland Coliseum this summer, meaning local titles like the San Francisco Unicorns have a home field advantage for the first time ever.
We have the best players in the world coming here.
Unicorns CEO David White says the Unicorns will play 5 Major League Cricket teams at the Coliseum for a week in June.
You know, to be able to bring that to the Bay Area, to have a home where they can come see live cricket, world-class cricket in their own backyard is very exciting.
Cricket is the world's second most popular sport, with most of the fan base in South Asia, but popularity is ramping up in the Bay. The Blazers minor league is just evidence of that. The Oakland Coliseum has a rich history of sports. Prakash is just excited that cricket may now be a part of that legacy.
Especially being like a Bay Area sports fan, the Coliseum is like a place that like I've been to. I've watched games there. I've watched A's games. I've watched Raiders games there, and just having that for cricket is a really cool thing.
The event at the Coliseum runs from June 12th to the 18th. It is projected to deliver a $3 million economic boost to the city of Oakland. To March Madness now, Chase Center playing host to the NCAA tournament for the second time in 4 years. Matt Lively has more on which school is going to feel like the home team.
This is the Northern California Honda Dealers Madness Minute.
Chase Center will host the West Regional this weekend. Florida had the longest trip to San Francisco, but will have plenty of local support thanks to their head coach.
It's great to be back in the Bay.
Gators head coach Todd Golden was a player at St. Mary's and head coach at USF before landing at Florida. He wanted to give his team a true taste of San Francisco, so he pulled some strings last night and arranged a dinner at one of his favorite spots, Original Joe's in North Beach.
The penne alla vodka, I love. I went with the prime rib last night. You know, being here in San Francisco, that you can't go wrong.
He knows everyone there. Everyone knows him there. He's really good friends with the owner and all that stuff. So it was a really cool experience.
He was getting interviewed mid dinner.
Really?
Yeah.
I got filled with the appetizers before we even got to like the steak. So I only ate like half my steaks because the appetizers were so good. And yeah, it was a really good spot though.
For the Madness Minute, I'm Matt Lively.
Coming up, we are going to meet the woman who saved an historic San Francisco theater on the brink of foreclosure. How her efforts have provided a big lift to the entire community.
As an artist, you need someone who can see and believe in you enough to say, without question, let's go ahead and do it.
99-year-old theater in San Francisco's Mission District has become a place for community and culture to come together, thanks in no small part, rather, to one woman who led the fight to save it. Sharon Chin introduces us to Anastasia Powers Cuellar, this week's CBS News Bay Area Icon Award winner.
Anastasia Powers Cuellar remembers the first time she visited the Brava Theater back in 1983.
I came to see a film about Machito, and John Santos was giving a lecture about the history of Latin jazz and salsa, and I was just blown away.
The theater seats used to be a lot lower rake here.
She's never lost that sense of awe.
It's called Macarena.
Since 2012, she's led Brava for Women in the Arts. The nonprofit highlights productions by women, the LGBTQ+ community, people of color, youth, and other underrepresented voices.
It's always been a vortex of creative energy.
The theater first opened in 1926 as a vaudeville stage and eventually became a movie house before Brava bought the building in 1996. But some 15 years later, a recession nearly dropped the curtain on the cultural centerpiece.
It was $2 million in debt. There was 25 liens on the property. It was very sad.
And Anastasia was hired to save it.
I knew what this place meant in the community.
Drawing on 3 decades in the arts and administration, Anastasia secured grants and community partnerships. She led the effort to resuscitate the theater center, renovated the storefronts along 24th Street.
Cabaret space.
And carved a new cabaret space.
Inferior.
Jose Carrasco, director of the Loco Performing Arts Group at Brava, had a front row seat to the transformative work of Anastasia, whom he also calls Stacy.
It takes an important skill set of knowing how to work with people. I really couldn't tell you what the secret recipe is for Stacy, but she makes it happen.
Today, 30,000 people come to more than 200 events a year at Brava, showcasing local artists in music, theater, dance, and more. It provides affordable rental space to nonprofits, and it's home to youth performing arts and paid internships for teenagers learning production.
My home, sweet home.
Empress Kayende Koyejo, one of a dozen resident artists at Brava, celebrates Anastasia's gifts of collaboration and innovation.
And as an artist, you need someone who can see and believe in you enough to say, without question, let's go ahead and do it and see what it is.
Anastasia is proud that she helped usher a new period of stability for the arts community.
And we need it for our heart and our soul and our well-being.
So for saving and breathing new life into the Brava Theater Center, this week's CBS News Bay Area Icon Award goes to Anastasia Powers Cuellar.
After 13 years as executive director, Anastasia says it is time to step down in June. She's urging people to continue to support Brava and the arts, noting that utility bills alone have more than doubled recently. You can nominate a community hero for a CBS News Bay Area Icon Award on our website, kpix.com/icon. A special celebration in San Francisco for Women's History Month, including that girl, our very own Juliette Goodrich. The San Francisco Examiner and Nob Hill Gazette held a luncheon yesterday recognizing inspiring women across the Bay Area, and Juliette was amongst the other 2025 honorees, including Jennifer Steeple Newsom, Brooke Jenkins, and Jackie Spear. This year's theme was shining a spotlight on those who are rolling up their sleeves and getting the work done.
I feel so lucky to be able to report in this city and shine a light in San Francisco and its people.
Oh, we are so lucky to have Juliette. Love her. She was introduced on stage by another member of the KPIX family, Elizabeth Cook, who emceed this year's event. And how's this for some inspiration? My dog Sandy has been sitting by my feet this entire broadcast. She would like to inspire you to consider pet adoption. Right, Sandy? Say hi. Thanks for streaming CBS News Bay Area. I'm Ann Makovic. This is Sandy Makovic. We're going to be right back with your first alert forecast and another look at your top stories. Markovic, and this is the Minute. March Madness coming to Chase Center today. The first game starts at 4:40 between number 1 seed Florida and 4